maybe talk about, you know, what makes an interesting performance or an interesting movie. I know that, you know, perfection isn't human.
No.
So if you could talk a little bit about
it doesn't exist. It doesn't
human
exist.
elements.
It doesn't exist.
Yeah.
Perfection doesn't exist. You can't do something perfect. You can do it good. You can do it well for that moment. And the moment you stop, you're going to be different the next moment. You can't hold those performances. You can't hold those moments because you squeeze them dry. You go to the same place and you release. You go to the same place and you release. You see the images, you do the same thing, and you leave. Stella used to tell me, Arthur, you've got to look at your plate. And I had a plate of food. She said, turn it. Okay, turn it again. I turn it. So sometimes you can start from the peas. Sometimes you can start from the potato. Sometimes you can start with the meat. Right. Does that make sense? Yeah. But every time you turn your plate, it's going to be different. Look at your plate differently, Arthur.
Yeah.
And I went, oh, okay, Miss Adler. And I had no idea what she was talking about. Half of the stuff she told me, I didn't understand until I'm teaching all of you now. There are moments I sit in class and I go, that's what she was saying. This woman knew I was going to teach. Yeah. This woman told me I was going to have a theater. I said, no, I don't want to teach. And I'll never have a theater. I didn't want it. I didn't want to teach. I thought losers teach. Teaching acting. I don't want to be that. I didn't know that it was going to ignite me. I didn't know a theater was going to change my life.
Yeah.
I didn't know how that was. And I didn't know how to change my life. I had to learn how to shut up and hang on. She said, don't ever call the theater Arthur Mendoza anything. And I said, all right, you want me to have a theater, and it can't be my name. How are people going to find me? And she laughed and she put her hand on my forehead and said, they'll find you, darling. The ones that are supposed to find you will find you. And hell, if she wasn't right, I wish the more would find you. I got plenty. I got interesting ones.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got interesting, rock hard granite that turns into, I keep shaving it for it to be a diamond. All of them. I want all these diamonds in the rough.
Maybe talk about why an actor going after something to do a good job can constrict its flow.
Awful. Yeah. You can't go do a good job. You can't. I'm going to get vulgar. It's like making love with someone. Hey, is this good? Are you having fun? Is this the best you've ever had? Am I doing the right thing? What the fuck? You can't do that.
Yeah.
You're there. Settle in. Try some stuff. But you can't. Yeah, you can't get, what? How am I doing? Is this the best you ever had? Like, what the hell?
Yeah.
How can you do that? You can't go in, I'm going to knock it out of the park. Jason Momoa, we did his audition for Game of Thrones. He called me and said, I got it. I said, what? They sent everybody away. I got it. They're waiting for my manager. We're going to do some stuff. I said, well, that's good. Isn't that good? Yeah. Well, why aren't you happy? He said, I don't know. I didn't know how to get a part.
Right.
I said, your life will change.
Yep.
For the rest of your life from the freedom you gave them in Game of Thrones. He's a wonderful actor. He's powerful and he's scary and he's dominant.
Yep.
And he doesn't fit. He came to take me to lunch. It was raining. And he had a hat like Raiders of the Ark. And he can't wear coats because he's too big. So he had this big Indian blanket. And this is an area where my brother lives. It's a real white. And it's a nice little, Nichols little place. And he walks in with this big and this voice. And she said, how many? There'll be two. Me and him. And everybody looked like, they hold their handbags. This guy gonna, and she said, well, it'll be 20 minutes. No, we're going to go somewhere else. And you heard his voice. And we walked out. Is that all right? I said, yeah, we'll go over here. And he took up a whole booth with his arms.
Yeah.
And we talked some things over.
He's definitely a big guy.
I adore him.
Yeah.
I adore him. And I adore him because he's fearless. I adore him because he's fearless.
Yeah.
And he doesn't question himself. Neither does Benicio. They're wild. And people go, what am I going to do with them? Just stay out of their way. Let them do their work.
Yeah.
Is that okay? Was that okay? Then you can tell them later. But you've got to have the freedom. You've got to have you can't have the restriction of your creativity.
When an actor approaches a scene or their work, what's a way for them to really just let the flow and
don't look at the words.
Yeah. Don't
look at the words. Look at what's going on in the scene. You're going to have the piece of paper in your audition. You know, they say they need, I don't know, whatever you need. Do not memorize it because you'll kill it. You don't know
Say
it.
that again.
Do not memorize the audition.
Because you'll
kill it.
Not in a good way.
No, not in a good way. You'll do the words perfect. You'll do the words perfect. You'll do the words perfect. Oh, and then you're thinking of words. You got, they didn't hire you. You got the paper.
Yeah.
Learn it. Learn some of it. Learn the sequence. Learn what's going on in the scene. Learn what's going on in the scene. Stella has a wonderful exercise to chat, to argue, to discuss, to fight. What are they doing? Is someone fighting? The dialogue will tell you.
Yeah.
You have a technique. Pick it out. Is there a description? Is it a reminisce? You won't have a reminisce. They don't do those anymore. Actors can't do them. They just do voiceovers.
Talk about when they approach a scene or the work as far as the process. What are some ways you've seen actors break the rules, like outside the norm? Because obviously if everyone's doing it the same way, nothing's different.
Let me tell you something stupid.
Yeah.
I auditioned for a part, and the scene had to do with me grabbing the character's earring in the scene. So I was doing this, and the girl backed up because people had kept pulling her earring on.
Yeah.
They did it. You don't do that. You don't touch the person. You're auditioning. It's make believe. They'll have the real earring and blood when you do it. Don't be stupid.
Yep.
And guys like to do something different. You know, one guy used to take off his shirt all the time. And I told him, you know what? That's a good idea because it seems to me that's all you've got.
Yeah.
Stop doing it. You're a blonde, fit man. You look like a hooker when you do that.
Yeah.
You look cheap.